It's been a while, hasn't it? It's typically said in Japanese, Hisashiburi. I know it's been almost a month. Actually, it has been about a month since I've done a live stream. Let alone something like this. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. I've just been kind of busy. I've been forgetful. And I'm sorry about that. But yeah. I'm gonna share this on Twitter first before I forget. Yay. So there we go. Things have been crazy today. So here we go. Hi! It's your unladylike libertarian, Heather. Oh my god, I almost said my maiden name. I mean, I might as well be my maiden name. It's like Heather Cleanse? Or is it Heather Sussberg? I've just been so forgetful today. It's just... I've had 2 cups of coffee already, so forget my loopiness. Not much has been going on. I'm just rambling today. And so... And just to say, yeah, I'm here. I'm alive. Let's see. Hi. So, yeah. How are you guys today? You know, I slept in for way too long today. I mean, I woke up this morning at about 4:30, went back to sleep after my husband left, and woke up shortly before noon. So that's been kind of fun. And it's like... Oh. See, I have friends. I have friends. I went to Twitter and saw that somebody else was like, hey, my friend is live. Give her a thumbs up. Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. But like I said, this is just a little bit of a rambling. What else is on the agenda today? You know, there are some libertarians that have been getting on my nerves. I've started muting blue pills. It's like, I'm just getting tired of seeing the same things over and over again. Like, Dave Smith's a transphobe! This person's a transphobe! It's like, are her feelings really that important? Or is it just the fact that I lean a little more to the right than I do to the left? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Like, I tend to lean, I think partially because of my background, which is mostly conservative, that some of this shit that's coming out of the what's called the loser brigade is starting to get on my nerves because it's repetitive and it's the same shit over and over again. It's like they're always accusing somebody of not being a real libertarian. It's come on, guys. It's like the fact that we have all of this infighting. Actually, I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know why I am. But yeah. So I just been like, you know what? They're getting on my nerves. Because they're just saying the same things over and over again, and most of them are narcissistic assholes. Like the ones that like to gaslight you, yeah, they've been blocked. They were blocked because they're assholes. Because they love to use narcissistic actually not tendencies, but what's the word I'm looking for? Tactics. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they love to use narcissistic tactics against you. and think that you're the narcissist. When in reality, it's like, you already know what's going on. Or at least in my case, I already know the signs of a narcissist. Therefore, I'm like, no. I know what you're up to. I know what you're up to. You're gonna try to question my sanity and to think that I'm in the wrong. When in reality, y'all are in the wrong. You hear me? Well, I mean, there was only like maybe 2 people that I've had a really bad interaction with that I've had to completely block off my block because, they love to use those tactics. But not all of these people are bad. It's just like some of them are just really misguided. And they just echo whatever they hear from the party. And considering a lot of this bullshit is starting to come out that, some of them are using these kind of tactics, it doesn't surprise me. I hate to say it, but it just doesn't surprise me. They're like, oh, maybe you should take your own advice and stop bullying people. Like, well, if you would actually listen to yourself, you guys are the bullies. I was like, it's the same thing that I'm seeing from the haters of the Mises Caucus. They're like, oh, the Mises are the same tropes are like, oh, they cater to anti-Semites and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, where's your proof? I mean, come on. It's just insane, guys. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's like I tried to watch the episode of Joe Rogan. I was like, I'm halfway through it, or maybe like a quarter of the way through it. No, I don't want to say a quarter of the way through it. I'm like between an hour or 2 hours into it. I know, I'm terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm terrible, guys. I'm just terrible. It's like I procrastinate on some things. Like there are even anime series that I haven't even finished watching. That's how bad it is. That's just my short attention span. But yeah, I did try to watch the Dave Smith episode of Joe Rogan. It's some of it was pretty mind blowing, and some of it, so I'm like, I ain't surprised by that. Nope. But I'm trying to think. Shit. I keep losing my mind. I keep losing my train of thought. I'm just saying that. I'm trying to think of what else was I gonna try to say? I'm sorry. My brain is kind of like foggy right now. Alright. Like right now, I don't have anything written down. I'm just trying to, say whatever comes to mind. And all of that stuff. But I know that there are going to be people that haven't caught this live stream and they're going to watch the replay of it, and that's fine. But there is Yeah, like there is one other thing that caught my attention on Twitter, and that's CNN's Brian Stelter is 2 years older than I am. And I'm like, whoa! But at the same time, I'm not surprised by that. Because you want to know why? Because the majority of the people that are around my age have consumed way too much soy. So I'm not surprised by that. I shouldn't be, but I am. Like, dude, are you kidding me? I was born in 87 and I look like I'm 27. You get me? You catch my drift? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I always said I've been saying this since I turned 30. Like, I look like I'm 27. I feel like I'm 27. But I shouldn't be surprised by all of that. Like, the majority of these leftists that are in my age group look older than they are. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. So I shouldn't be surprised by that either. Yeah. It's like anybody with a brain. Yeah, anybody with a brain, it tends to look younger than they actually are. I knew that from experience. I mean, do I look like I'm about to turn 34 in 6 months? Or close to 6 months now. Since, it's almost, since April's almost over. Might as well say 6 months. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been raining. It rained here yesterday. It's been cold. It's been cold here. I know. It's Arizona. Come on. I kinda knew that Arizona was unpredictable. My husband was complaining about it, on the other hand. I'm like, why are you surprised by that? I told you it was unpredictable. I should have told him, like, I told you it was unpredictable. I love him to death, but I love him to death, but sometimes he's right about things, and then there are some that are like, really? Really? Are you just that oblivious? I can't say that he's a dummy because he's far from a dummy. It's just that there are things that he's really oblivious about. That's why I say I love him to death, but he can be kind of dumb sometimes. But it's not very often that he shows his dummy side. I mean, I know I can be a dummy. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. That I can be kind of a dummy sometimes. But yeah. Lord. But that came from the fact that, like, they want you to believe that Brian Stelter is the epitome of health. Like, come on, dude. It's CNN. They like to peddle this bullshit. They like to peddle bullshit. It's kind of irritating. Considering that they used to be somewhat decent. I like to blame the fact that it was after Larry King left is when it started going downhill. If anybody is old enough to remember Larry King. Oh wait, yeah. I think Larry King left CNN. I remember his show on CNN. He was pretty good. But it was after he left. It's when everything started going downhill. I stopped watching it. Same thing with leftist media. I think it started getting on my nerves in about 2010, 2011 maybe, when I was like, you know what? Y'all are kissing Obama's ass. I ain't watching this shit anymore. It just got on my nerves. They're like, oh, they're gonna be, I guarantee you, there's gonna be some people that are gonna be asking, why were you watching it in the first place? We're like, well, because at the time, I didn't know any better. Or if I did, it's just, I was doing it mostly out of curiosity. But that's part of the reason why I see left, it's like left stream media as condescending. Yeah, it's just condescending. Like, they're condescending. Like, they talk down to you like you're an idiot. Actually, I think right stream media also does the same thing. They talk down to you like you're stupid. They think that you're, like I said, like, I think both sides of the mainstream media like to talk down to you like you're stupid. But I think left media is equally guilty of that. It's equally guilty of that. Yeah. Other than that, this is particularly why I like to listen to libertarians, because it's like you hear both sides of things. Like, I used to think of myself as a moderate, and turns out I was mostly blue pilled. Nowadays, I can kind of say I'm white pilled for the most part. Like, I don't see all the doom and gloom. I try to keep an optimistic point of view. Especially with all the people that I've been listening to in the last 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. I think it's been 2 years. I want to say it's been since 2018, so 3. 3 years. And, of course, I have my own voices that I listen to. Not to say that I'm included in that, because I'm still trying to work on my own presentation of things without losing my train of thought. But at the end, this is just like, okay, I've been listening to the Mad Ones. That's my white pill. My number 1 white pill. Number 2 is Dave Smith. He's also a white pill. At least in my opinion, he's a white pill. Who else am I listening to other than Clint? Well, actually, there would be 4 if we include Liberty Lockdown and the Naturalist Capitalist. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, I'm never too sure about these things. It's like I'm mostly bad with names, okay, guys? I am mostly bad with names. Then it's like whenever people are like, "Oh, ask me anything," the first question that always comes to mind, and that's because I'm a nerd. At least when it comes to music, I'm a nerd. And I'm like, what's your favorite type of music? It's actually kind of fun to see how they respond to that question, because most of the time, it's like they don't always listen to the same thing that. Oh my god! I messed that one up. It's always fun. It's fun for me to always see how they respond to that question. Because I know my favorite type of music. And my first love is always going to be classical music. I try to listen to that. So I try to listen to classical music when I'm in a mood for it. I also consider video games to be like classical music. People are like, isn't that just instrumental music? I'm like, yeah, mostly. Yeah. But I was like, it's like I love all kinds of music for the most part. I try to listen to metal. I will admit that. That's how I discovered that I am more old school. That's how I discovered that I'm mostly old school metal, especially Iron Maiden. Yeah, Iron Maiden. If people were to ask me what my favorite metal band is, that's exactly what I would say. Iron Maiden. If they asked me what my favorite rock band is, now that one, I would have to give like, okay, 3 answers to that one. It would be Led Zeppelin, Iron Maiden, and Aerosmith. Not in that kind of order, but those are the 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. But that's just like asking me who my favorite composers are. I would be like, it's definitely a tie between Mozart and Beethoven. Sorry. Sorry, Shapiro. But my taste in classical music is better than his. Just saying. Not really. He's not going to pay attention to this. He's not going to notice. I don't think he really cares all that much. Then I'm just naming off 2 of my favorite composers. Because I know he has his own. I think Beethoven's one of them. I can't remember that. I'm like, yeah, I agree. That bass is bomb, yo. I know I'm terrible. But I'm moving on. Moving on. What else is there? Oh, yeah. The jab. I don't think anybody that I know in my immediate libertarian circle is going to get the jab. And I can understand why. I know I'm probably not. Now, I have my reasons. And that's because of one of 2 things. And somebody else pointed this out to me. They're like, you might have an overactive immune system, which in a way I can kind of agree with. But I do think that my immune system kind of sucks. Because I had been more prone to getting sick since I got my flu shot about 3 or 4 years ago. And the fact that within that period of time, my right molar became very infected. Like, it was not too long after I got my left molar pulled. I was like, oh! Okay, my body was just basically going, okay, we're gonna transfer this infection over to the other side. Yay. Hi, Arthur. So that's, like I said, that's partially why. That's partially why. Man, it's like the side effects could. I don't know how I'm going to react to it. Anyway, even if I did. Because it's like, I don't know if I would get more sick or I don't know. I just don't know how I'm going to react to it. I don't know how my body's going to react to it. Might be like when I got the flu. After I got the flu shot, it was like, it was just awful. I don't want to say I was bedridden, but in a way, the infection came and went. But then after that, I just became more prone to getting sick. So it's like if anybody else was sick, it was immediately after they got sick. Then I got sick. But they're like, oh, that's not an excuse and not get the shot. Like, well, you know, like, I can kind of say that it did alter my DNA a little bit. I mean, there had been some studies that say that some vaccines could alter your DNA. I don't remember the study name, nor do I care to look it up right now. But I do know that I had become more prone to getting sick since then. Hi, Arthur. Sorry, my dog is coming over here like, please love on me. Please love on me. You can see his tail wagging in the background. My goodness. But I'd also been feeling nostalgic lately. I don't know if it's a sign that I'm getting old or that I probably have something else going on. Arthur, just honey, I love you too. Some people are like, oh, if you're feeling nostalgic a lot, it means you have some unresolved issues from your past. And I think that's something I've heard. Either that or it's just like something that popped up in my head. And I had to go look into it. But like I said, right now this is just I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but like this is a rambling live stream. This is not like an actual episode of my podcast. I am considering some guests. I just don't know who I want to invite on or who's willing to come on my show. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I know some people. It's like I know some cool kids. And it's like, believe me, there are some people that I follow on Twitter that I consider to be the cool kids. Including the duo of the Mad Ones. They are what I consider to be the cool kids. They're like, I don't think I'm quite there yet. But that's just me. I know. And my dog is whining in the background, wanting to go outside. So I'm probably going to end this a little bit, I'm going to end this. So, if you happen to catch this live, I appreciate it. I really do. If you're going to catch the replay, I'd advise you watch it anyway. And I'm going to try and be more presentable in the near future. Okay? I'm going to try my best to work on my approach on how I do my podcast. And I might get the courage to ask some people to come on. And I might call it like tea time. Okay? So, catch you guys later. Bye. Johnny.